You ever feel like you don't even know who you are anymore? Like you're a stranger, even to yourself? They told you this would be your time. Nobody said you'd wake up and not recognize the woman in the mirror. Today, I'm going to show you what actually helps when you're starting over after 50 and what doesn't. How you can get to know that new woman in the mirror and welcome her in. I'm Val. Before I started Second Half Sage, I was alone in ways I didn't even realize. Then I was refused important surgery solely because I was alone, and that fear galvanized me. I discovered thousands of women were in the same place. Now I help women over 50 feel seen, supported, and less alone through everything the second half of life brings, because we're stronger together than any of us is on our own. But before we talk about what comes next, we have to be honest about what you're actually standing in the middle of right now. Maybe you're coming out of a marriage, a career, a layoff, a role as a caregiver. Maybe the kids are gone and the house is empty in a way that doesn't feel like peace. It feels like loss. Maybe retirement is here or close. And instead of feeling free, you feel lost. Like the very ground you're standing on has turned to mush, and you're not sure if you'll find solid ground again. It's not your fault, and it's not a failure. That feeling has a name, and we're going to talk about it. I want to share with you something that almost no one else will. A lot of the advice you get when you're starting over after 50 doesn't help. You end up feeling unheard and more alone. You've always been so strong, they say. You'll be fine. It sounds like a compliment, but it shuts you down and denies your experience. And if you're the woman everyone has always leaned on, you just say thank you and go on alone again. Just stay positive, they say, before anyone has even listened to how you're really doing. That's not positivity. That's invalidation. Real encouragement hears your hurt and gives you the strength to move forward. The thread running through all of it, the pep talks, the keep busy advice, the silver linings, is this: they're ways of skating past your feelings, usually because the other person doesn't know what to do with them. Not one of them does the thing you actually need, which is for someone to be with you and truly listen. And there's an even deeper reason all that advice doesn't work. It misses where you're at entirely, because what you're feeling isn't a lack of discipline. It isn't you failing to bounce back fast enough. It's grief. You see, when you're starting over after 50, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're grieving. You're grieving the woman you used to be and the roles she had. There's no public recognition of your loss at all. You feel it alone and wonder what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not crazy. Grief is exactly what a loss this big is supposed to look like. A woman posted recently, "I miss who I used to be." It got hundreds of replies in a few hours. Women saying, "That's me too." If that's you too, I want you to know something. You are not alone in this. You are not broken. But naming it is only the beginning. What comes next is where so many women get stuck without ever realizing that's what happened. Once you know it's grief, most of us do the same thing. We try to get her back. We reach for the old life, the old roles, the old certainty, believing that if we can just find our way back to where we were, the pain will finally stop. But that woman was shaped by a life that has already changed. That door has closed. Here's what grief is actually pointing you toward. You were never supposed to find your way back to her. The goal isn't recovering the old you. It's making room for the woman you're becoming. And that uncertain space everyone keeps pushing you to fill, you've spent decades being certain for everyone else. Their schedules, their needs, their feelings. This in-between time might be the first real rest you've allowed yourself in years. It isn't emptiness, it's room. The woman in the mirror stops being a stranger the moment you start trying to get past her and start getting curious about her. Two things will help. One for the woman you were, and one for the woman you're becoming. And it starts with the woman you were. I promise this is gentler than anything you've been told. Change your relationship with the woman you were. Everyone tells you to let her go. I want to offer you something kinder. You don't have to lose her twice. The roles she carried, mother, wife, worker, caretaker, they were real. And so was she. She got you here. Now, she's no longer the one running your life. That part is over. And it's okay to grieve it. She doesn't disappear, though. It's time to give her a new job. She becomes something closer to an ancestor, honored, thanked, consulted, sometimes. So give her a ceremony. Write her a letter. Just a few lines thanking her for what she did, what she protected, what she loved. Then find one object from that part of your life, something that represents her, and place it in a special place to be honored and not forgotten. The way a team retires a jersey. She's not gone. She is just taking a new supportive role. You might think small rituals like these wouldn't work, but they do help, even for people who don't believe in rituals. The ceremony isn't the point. The point is deeply recognizing what your heart already knows. So that's the woman you were. Now, what about the stranger in the mirror? Here's the part that nobody teaches. Stop searching for her. Befriend her. Everyone tells you to go find yourself, like she's waiting in the lost and found. But you can't find a stranger. You can only get to know one. And here's the thing. You already have the exact skills this takes. You've spent your whole life turning strangers into friends, new neighbors, new coworkers, other mothers. You know how to do this. You've just never done it with yourself. So make friends with the woman you're becoming, the same way you'd become friends with anyone. Get introduced. Ask 2 or 3 people who know you one question. Tell me about a time you saw me most alive. Their answers are clues about who she is, the woman underneath those roles. Even asking the question helps bring her forth. Talk about her by name. This one sounds strange, and it works. In a journal or out loud, talk about her in the third person. It's important to just be playful and curious. What did she enjoy today? What surprised her? The distance of third person reduces fear, and it turns a scary question, who am I, into a curious one, who is she? Spend time with her. 1 hour this week, doing something she would choose. Not the woman you were, not the woman anyone needs you to be. Her. You don't have to commit to anything. You're just getting to know her. Because friendship takes time. It's built in visits. And with every visit, she gets a little less like a stranger and more like your natural self. Starting over after 50 is not a failure. The feelings and uncertainty you have are normal for change this big. Creating the new you is not something you can finish in a snap. It's a threshold, and you're standing in it, which means you already did the hardest part. You didn't run. You didn't pretend. You're here. And please listen. You're not the same woman who walked in. You're wiser. You earned your wisdom by living it, through the grief, through the not knowing, through every small choice that was yours alone. You're not lost. You're exactly where the wisdom starts. That woman who's coming through this, she's the sage. Tell me in the comments, what's one role or chapter of your life you're still learning to let go of? I'd love to hear it. I read every single one. Thank you. See you next time.